business, right? To drive costs down.
It's got to be a fine balance.
What's that? Like, I don't believe that healthcare is a human right.
Been going up
I don't.
under private healthcare in America.
Yeah, because America's regulated to death, my guy. Like, take a look around. Look at OSHA. Look at the EPA. Look
It's
at.
always the Canadians that actually know anything about America and are telling Americans why their country is amazing.
Like, I love America. It's one of the better countries.
Name me the country with the pure.
I'm not saying that there's all kinds of better countries. I'm saying all these countries are doing things wrong.
It's okay to justify the government allowing people to violate people's property.
Here we go again. Simon, I think I've heard you say that same thing about 100 times on this app. Congrats, Simon, for repeating yourself for the 1,000th time.
Because you can't answer the question. You don't have to come back.
Simon, let me try this. Do you guys think that healthcare is a human right?
Look, we have the system we have now. Going forward, change it in ways that are better.
Yeah, which might mean eliminating it, right?
You don't have any solutions.
So, I have a question. Do you think that healthcare is a human right?
See, we won't dignify your question because it's actually a very stupid question. The better question, there's much better questions than that question, Dave. I got to think of a better question.
It's a very good question. There's something that requires the labor of somebody else. Can it be a human right?
See, the problem with that assumption is that if you spend your whole life smoking cigarettes and not going to the gym and eating cheeseburgers, and now you're demanding my human fucking right to cure me of my fucking cancer because I spent my whole life being a jerk off, well, is that a human right then, Dave? And is it okay for we, the taxpayers, to spend $8 million curing you of your 40-year cigarettes and McDonald's consumption? Is that your human fucking right? You need that $8 million to cure your fat ass now of that fucking cancer?
No, it's not. Is it ever a human right? If you're super healthy, is it a human right? I would say no. I think healthcare is not a human right. I don't think anybody is owed healthcare from anybody.
Are you in Canada?
I am.
And you're saying you never had your system there? You were
I'm saying what? What did you say?
You were born into a system totally nationalized and pretty effective.
It's fucking dog shit, my guy. Our healthcare is dog shit.
According to what? Like, there's only like 2 provinces that actually get any sort of healthcare in Canada.
Yeah, how many times have you been to Canada, Simon?
I'm from Canada.
Like,
sorry to hear that,
I
Simon.
waited for like
That
20
makes
hours.
Simon. Finally, I understand you now.
Family members be told by doctors that they should just let their children die rather than take care of them because they're a burden and they've cost millions of dollars for the healthcare system.
Well, it makes sense now.
The number 1 cause of death in Canada last year was the fucking MAID program.
Why did you lie to the camp?
What's the MAID program?
Medical assistance in dying. So the government kills you and sells your organs. So if you're depressed,
You never took it.
what?
He asked you if you've ever signed up for government.
Yeah, I never signed up for it.
You're signed up.
It forced upon me, my guy.
Yeah, so
You understand the difference.
recipient your whole life.
I have been a recipient of state health care. That was not the question. That was not the question. I paid tons of fucking money for it, dude. I way overpaid it. Are you kidding me? Look at my tax bill. What do you think that's fucking for?
You've never paid a...
What?
Well, Dave, let me ask you and Simon, since you guys are the green bean super mods here, what would your priorities be if you were in power and you were the leader of the people? What would your top 3 priorities be?
Watch the crickets.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, either you or Simon. Go ahead.
Number one is individual freedom. So like protecting individual rights. That is what power should be used for.
We already had that.
Like, no, I don't. I'm not allowed to defend myself. If I'm getting robbed, I'm not allowed to shoot a guy in my house. That is bullshit. I should be allowed to protect my life, my freedoms, and my possessions with violence.
Okay, so that's priority number one. Moving on to priority number two.
Canada's fucked up.
Go ahead. What's priority number two, Dave? And you can answer these questions too, Simon, because we know you guys are such critical thinkers. Go ahead.
I honestly, outside of that, I don't see much priority for a government, but like, I think that a nation that is derives its morality from God is very important. So I think having a nation that focuses on Christian values.
Okay, so you believe in killing people who come into your house unlawfully. You believe that government and society should be based on Jesus Christ and his teachings. Now, what's your third priority for we the people? Go ahead.
Well, it's quite a list.
I mean, individual rights covers a lot of priorities, but like, do you want me to break that down?
No, I want a third. I want a third priority. If you were the leader of we the people.
Freedom of travel be included in that? I would say so, but like, do you? Like, that you can never steal from me as a government. Like, that would be a priority too.
How do you?
Like,
What do you mean? The government kind of takes from you all the time.
What would you set up the schooling for the kids? The meal.
It's private. Period. Like, the government has no business in health and education.
It's an interesting idea.
Why would you have, up until this like 70s, like that was a foreign concept to have governments involved in education. Why do people act like now that's like the standard thing that you should have?
Public education.
It's a good question.
What business does the government have in education?
It's one of their primary business.
No,
Really, do you
it
think
shouldn't
that's a
be.
primary
Yeah.
concern of the
In the
government?
United States, we spend 1.1 trillion a year on education, and it's mostly
That's a
funded
lot.
mostly funded through property taxes. Only 300 billion through Department of Education, but property taxes and owning a home is owning a liability to fund the pensions and the salaries, as well as the facilities costs, administrative
that makes
expenses.
sense, right?
Does
Yeah, which is
it really? Does it make
Why is
sense?
that bullshit?
Why does that make sense? Why is it so much, Migzed? Shouldn't it be like 10% of all our property taxes?
Because
I pay for public education on my taxes, but I send my kids to a private school. So now I'm paying for 2 schools
right.
because I don't want to send my kids to a government indoctrination camp.
The reason I'm trying to say it makes sense to link it to property taxes is because a neighborhood which has educated youth is a better neighborhood to live in, which is why it makes sense
completely
to tie
subjective.
it to the value of the properties in the neighborhood.
It is completely subjective of you to say that an educated neighborhood is better for you.
No, I think it's pretty objective. I could probably.
No, it's not. What if
It's not.
What if the community is an LGBTQ trans promoter?
Rural communities that aren't educated are better communities than cities where a lot of educated people live.
There you
Throw,
go.
like the density of a rural farm into like square acreage of safe civil humans.
Migzed, you put your kids through private school, don't you? Don't you send them to Jewish day school?
That's for religious reasons. Yeah, I don't.
Well,
send them to the
it's not religious. They're getting an education. They're learning language. They're
100%.
learning theory.
No,
They're
I
learning
think all
morality,
people
ethics.
should educate their children.
Okay, so but you go the extra mile. Your property taxes don't fund your children's education. You foot the private bill.
My property taxes funds the education of the citizens of the town I live in.
There you go.
I don't care about them though. I shouldn't
not?
have to pay
Why
because
don't you
that's
care about
social.
them?
That's social. Well, I do care about them,
Okay,
but I
good.
don't.
So do
I don't care to educate them. I don't want to pay for their education
Why not?
because I don't get value from it.
Migzed, why?
I disagree with you.
Migzed,
Yeah, that's fine.
Migzed, it can't be in
You get
perpetuity.
endless value out of living amongst the educated masses.
Migzed, it's not education. It is a jobs program.
So much better over the last 50 years.
Migzed, the lot already built. The books are already there.
Why?
A dozen reasons.
because of education. Okay, that people are convinced that socialism is good and they've embraced it because in theory, when the only places that these ideas like socialism and communism excel in is in theory. In practice, they never work. So oftentimes education systems are breeding grounds for theoretical ideas, and then they literally start pushing them into your world. Like this idea that people all need to be educated or should be educated is retarded. We need lots of people to do
I'm sorry,
lots of
did
things
you
that
say
don't
it's
require
dumb
education.
to think that everyone should be smart?
Yes, it's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb to think that everybody needs a lot of education.
Interesting theory. Let's see if it works out for your civilization.
So again,
If
Dave.
you look at America, 100 years ago, it was the best civilization in history.
It was also very educated. America has always had.
But it was not
Yeah.
public. It was not public. No one did it.
Dave.
It was done privately.
But
Okay, you understand?
There's good public schools in it. This
Sorry,
is stupid.
mostly I hear that Canada or other countries are like public school educations are good compared to private educations. I heard like that.
What? Does anyone understand what?
I think she said that public school education is so good in Canada that it is comparable to the education one would receive at a private school education.
Yeah,
Yeah, it depends how you measure that, right? If they all come out as communists, I would say that's not good, right? But if they know their math good, you could argue like, hey, they know their math good, so they're good at math, but they come out and believing that socialism is the way to be, and that we all evolved from monkeys and all these ideas. Like I think that's natural.
Migzad, what is what does the religious teachings tell us about funding public education? What does the Torah teach us about?
Interesting. There's some interesting things taught about that. One, it is the general obligation of the community to educate the children. Two, it is forbidden to receive payment for teaching the Torah. Interesting rule. Within that, the Jews have a standing obligation upon any father who must educate their son in all of the Jewish practices. Standing obligation, biblical level. Moses says, go teach them how to be Jewish. And then, for the failure of the father to educate, the community must step up. So yeah, the Jews have a standing religious obligation upon themselves to educate the next generation in the culture of the Jews.
Migzad, if you were made the leader of We the People, do you think that you could possibly be tyrannical?
Me? I wouldn't be a tyrant.
But I mean, when you actually see the resistance to your, power, I'm just saying that you might become tyrannical because possibly
Tyrannical.
because you might be able to justify your tyranny.
What? Hurting people? Why would I do that?
I'm just saying you can use Torah to explain away anything.
If I use Torah, then, the measure of rationality is whether or not your methods are clear and measured. If they are, the result is by definition rational. So, whatever I conclude on, it's just going to be some course. I'm personally of the opinion that most decisions don't matter that much, and you could flip a coin and just go with one. And if you really don't like that one, just switch to the other one and call it a day.
I mean,
I think people think too much about choices, mostly.
Well, I mean, listen. I mean, the misconception is that you're not paying for public education. You are. You're paying for it. I mean, the difference is that.
No, I know I pay for public education. I'm simply saying that public education has a certain kind of public good, civilizationally, that is worth the cost. Similar to the way the Europeans like to think about healthcare, that you should think about what you're paying the taxes for. What do you get for it? I think we pay certain taxes for education of anyone in America, and that's good. That's just good for society, and I pay that price.
Wait.
Well, I mean, that's up to the person to decide. But the point that I'm trying to make is that by enforcing education on everybody simply through taxation, it's a farce, and you're paying for it regardless. You're paying for the education, public education is not free. You're paying for it.
Yeah, it's not your decision to pay for it or not.
We get it. We get that,
And
Chase.
and that's the difference between secular law, like that's secular, that's the state versus religion.
So wait, Mixed, if you, based on decision-making theory, if you think flipping a coin and it really doesn't make a difference what choice you make, eVTOL here plays poker. So, I mean, where does the strategy then come in?
You can always make the other way and revert to the mean.
You just muted your mic.
So it makes it. Why do you think that it doesn't really matter what you choose? Like, I mean, what are you trying to say? That there is a simulation at play, or that?
Think of it this way: if it comes down to a choice of A or B, to do it or to not do it, there's obviously, think of it this way: obviously, good arguments to either do it or not do it, to do A or B. Otherwise, the choice wouldn't be presented. Which is to say, both of them are good. Both of them have good reasons behind them. Obviously, one could theoretically be better. You'll never know because you're only going to select one of them. So, there's arguments for both of them. You can't really fail with either option.
Just make your best decision and move along.
Right, because like the president isn't choosing down at the grunt level. The grunt's already figured out the obvious choices. They're giving him the really weird, difficult choice that could go this way or that way. And I'm saying, if they're not clear on it, then it really could go one way or the other. It's probably fine.
Okay, so do we agree? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, it's the infinite game. You're going to get many more repetitions.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, Mixed, do we agree on the fact that I need to make sure that we agree on things before I proceed with my point. Do we agree that the state is there to protect the rights of the people?
Yeah, that's one of the functions. That's like a lower grade function of like establishing peace and security for the people.
Okay. So do you think that forcing somebody to pay for something that they don't want is protecting the rights of people?
Forcing someone to pay for something they don't want, it can be protecting the rights of the people. Depends.
Is it always?
No, not always. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't.
Okay. So what if somebody doesn't want something such as public education, but they're forced to pay for it?
Forced to pay for it. I would say that they could present their arguments as to why society is better off without public education, but other than their like compelling arguments, which could sway me, and then I would change my mind. I see the argument that we should have public education.
Okay.
Meaning, I fully concede that I might be wrong. I'm simply a human.
Yeah,
it's the way I process things. If someone wanted to make a compelling case, they could go make it to the general liberal conclusions of the entire civilized world.
You know that they're not.
Like necessary.
You know that I'm at odds with them, though, right? Like my beliefs are at odds with most of the world, and I accept that.
Okay, are you against public education?
Yes.
Why?
For two reasons. They quickly become indoctrination camps, right?
Of course, that's all education.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
I reject that. I think that they become indoctrination camps of the people
in power.
In power, right? So like
at least whoever's educated.
The people who are trying to control how much they should tax you are now telling you that it's the moral thing to do and a good thing to do, right? Like, so they're indoctrinating everybody that goes through that system that they are necessary
and other necessary good behaviors of modern citizens. Yes.
Yes. And what they define as good, I reject, right? Like, so I don't necessarily agree with what they define as good. And the second thing is how does it get funded? If people said, listen, we're gonna donate money to educate people who can't afford it in our society, I would say that's a really good thing to do, right?
Sure, of course.
Because there's accountability. But I can't hold the government to account. I can't stop funding them when they're doing a shitty job. So now they are stealing from me to do something that I don't want them to do.
Right. The whole point of private is that you're choosing to,
Like, so society has always kind of viewed helping out the sick and needy as their responsibility, right? But there was accountability with it because the churches largely controlled it. So if you came to a church for money because you couldn't work, the church would help you out, and they would watch you and say, okay, now you are good enough to go back to work or whatever, right? There's accountability.
Yeah,
now with our
tutors.
public systems, we have created no accountability. So these people can get money forever for no reason other than they don't feel like working. Like, how is that good?
The people in schools?
Then the people in the schools tell you that that's a moral responsibility to provide that for people.
Moral responsibility.
It's a human right. It's a human right to take care of everybody. It's like, no, it is not. It is our duty to help people, right? It's our duty to help people, but only if we can hold them accountable. If we can't hold them accountable,
I think it's good for
we're
society
enabling
to
fat
educate everybody.
Yeah, but
it's
if you look
good,
at the
but
vast
not
majority of
not
what's happening in education now. Like the fact that people can't even hold a civil discussion anymore, or
Simon, what was the last book you read, Simon? Dave, what was the last book you read, Dave?
Too much education.
no, I'm saying if people like when you say too much education, what do you?
I'm asking, what is your argument against public education?
Exactly. Would you say that there can? Would you say that you can overeducate? Would you say that you can overeducate?
No, I would not say that.
So if I said tomorrow we're raising taxes to 80% because everybody's getting a university degree in medical sciences and in engineering, you would be like, okay,
I would say
that's
this.
good.
I would say this. It's a bold strategy, cut, and let's see if it works out for him.
What movie's that from?
yeah, come on, that's retarded.
That's dodgeball.
What? Oh, that's
Oh,
Dodgeball?
yeah, no, I think you're going to fail miserably, but let's see if it works out for him.
Yes, right? Because you recognize that you can overeducate. Like, there's a
It's not
cost-benefit analysis.
overeducation. What you said was
Yes,
like
it is.
what you described was an apocalyptic world with unemployment at greater than 80%.
And that's what we're experiencing, my guy.
Not at unemployment of 80%.
Violating people's rights. I'm way more concerned with how you just say, yeah, we can try it. Like, why not just violate everyone's rights? Yeah, exactly. Well, then you don't care about rights.
I both disagree with the principle. I both disagree with the violation of human rights, and I disagree that it would be better. So, like, I don't know.
What human rights? What human right do you think?
My right. Okay. So, that I am not a slave. That I am not a slave, and I am not owned by anybody. And nobody has a claim. Nobody has a claim on my income. Nobody has a claim on my income.
Your ancestors united and invested in a single edifice to put the best educators that they, as a community, could hire to educate your worthless behind. Now, you might be ungrateful for that building and think that your ancestors were enslaving you to their foolish ideology that produced the beautiful building and housed your beautiful little tiles and screens.
And I'm thankful for it. My ancestors put me in a private school, and I'm thankful for the sacrifices.
Peter, Pumpkin Eater. He ate a mouse he couldn't keep or put her in a shell.
Like, you don't.
There she is,
Whether you
in a
agree with the
shell.
public education is dependent on the individual, and the fact that every individual is forced to pay. That's the issue. They're forced to, and they might not.
Even if they don't use it.
Exactly.
Right, you're not paying for the service of the school. People who don't have children pay. It's people who own the property that pay to support schools in their neighborhoods. Just like they would pay to support a Walmart in their neighborhood, a bowling alley in their neighborhood,
Why the
a
fuck
church
would
in their
I pay
neighborhood.
to support a bowling alley in my neighborhood? The people who
He's Canadian, Mixed. Take it easy on the bowling alleys. Build an ice rink for the guy. Let him have a hockey team.
where do you draw your line with what you provide for people?
When you have an intergenerational structure, the government gets involved.
In the United States, do you guys?
They're long term, not short
So
term.
retarded.
Who runs the governance?
So
Who runs the
retarded.
governance of the school in the public state school in America? Who runs governance? Is it the parents or is it the school itself? Who runs the governance of the
The state does. The state, ultimately, the state does.
If it's a public school, it's gonna be the state. If it's a private school, it might be, I don't know, like whoever the owners are, or maybe there are schools that are managed by parents. But it depends. It depends on the form of the school.
Listen. At a minimum, for my understanding of what a good public school system is it has prepared facilities, it has the best teachers they can hire from the region, and enough teachers to accommodate all of the students, the children born within their district. And
But
yeah, I think that bearing the brunt of that in the property holders makes sense because of the good civilization you're making.
And then you make it illegal not to send your children to school, and that you can take your children away from them because you don't agree with it.
Do you know why?
It's not illegal.
Do you know why they have that requirement?
It's illegal to not educate your children, which is a separate problem. And yes, that can be a form of neglect.
I mean,
That's ridiculous.
No, it's not ridiculous. If you leave a child uneducated, that's neglect.
Yeah.
I mean,
A child can't be
You doesn't have to go to public school. You can educate yourself.
Are you saying that Dave was neglected? Are you saying that Dave's parents neglected him with education, that his society failed Dave? Dave, he's saying that you didn't get the education to make you aware that education...
Holy fuck, how many people are going to interrupt each other? Holy shit, man. Wow.
some executive